Legendary basketball coach Pat Riley called all of the distractions that his players ran into. This was when he was coaching the Lakers. Peripheral opponents. Opponents on the side. Opponents that aren't necessarily right in front of you, smack dab in your face. They're off to your peripheral. You know, you can all see them off to the side. And what he identified as those peripheral opponents were ego, fame, status, money, girlfriends, wives, exes, social media, all of those things that distract us, you know, in this case, basketball, but all of those things that distract us away from what our main thing is. In this case, Pat Riley was talking about basketball players. The peripheral opponents, the things that distract, the things that take away, the things that want to sabotage us, the resistance that is pulling against us, pushing us in a different direction. What are the peripheral opponents in your life? I know in my life right now, some of the peripheral opponents are some outside forces. You know, what are the small distracting things that get in our way? You know, the main thing right now, this is the journey to creating the mental conditioning playbook for athletes. So that's my main thing right now. That's me playing basketball. That's me playing my sport right now. Over this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 month period, however long it takes to complete this project. The peripheral opponents, I love my family, but they can become a distraction. Not saying that you can't spend time with your family. I absolutely want to spend time with my family. I absolutely want to spend time working out like I'm here at the field. I absolutely want to spend time with my fiance. I absolutely want to spend time with my dog. And I do. And I do all of those things because they're important to me. I value those things. There's an interesting quote, I think it was by Rachel Peterson. So Rachel Peterson actually ended up quoting someone else. I forget who she quoted. She said, you got to change your mindset to, I have time for all of the things that are important to me. No more bullshit excuse where I don't have time. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for my family. I don't have time for my sport. I don't have time for working out. I don't have time for studying. I don't have time for reading. That's just a bullshit excuse that you give to yourself as an out. I've done it. I've done it plenty of times. I don't have time to do that. I don't have time for this. And it's important to learn how to say no. The mindset shift is I have time for all of the things that are important to me. So what are the things that are important to you that you need to prioritize? Here's a perfect example. Here's one of my peripheral opponents. I love baseball, right? You know, I started off my career playing baseball and coaching baseball. One of the first things I do in the morning is check the MLB app. No harm, right? Check it for 5 or 10 minutes before I get out of bed. My peripheral opponent comes up in a sense that later in the day, 2 hours later, when I go to the bathroom, 3, 4 hours later, when I have a little bit of time, or I'm done eating, or I'm sitting at the table, or I'm transitioning between things, all of a sudden this peripheral opponent comes up and I open the phone and I open the MLB app. None of the videos have changed. Yeah, it gets updated periodically, but I already got the scores. I already got the main ideas. I already got the headlights, or the highlights. I already know the main ideas. It's like my brain is wanting me to go back and just look at the same thing over and over again. Another peripheral opponent. I'm a victim of this. 99% of the people watching these videos are a victim of this. Scrolling through social media, scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through TikTok, scrolling through Facebook, scrolling through whatever platform you're on. You know, it was the big joke at first, but it was so true. When TikTok first came out, you know, they joked that it was just for kids, and then all of a sudden you're scrolling on it, you're sitting there, and it's like 3 hours have passed. And it's like, wow, that's a peripheral opponent. Not that scrolling on TikTok is bad, only when it interferes with the things that are important to you. The mindset shift is, I have time for all of the things that are important to me. You see, the peripheral opponents are when they take away from the things that are important to us, when they distract, when they deflect, when they come up and all of a sudden we have an excuse. Oh, I don't have time. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. A valuable way to identify your peripheral opponents is to do a time audit. This is something that they should teach you in school. Maybe in some schools they teach time management. I think time management as a concept is beneficial, but for the most part, there's a lot of fluff in a sense that not every time management program works for everybody. So it's a matter of figuring out what works for you. That's a topic for a whole nother video, a whole nother discussion. Time management and, allocating your time effectively. This is all about peripheral opponents. So a time audit, literally, it's not about writing out your day ahead of time. It's not planning your day ahead of time. Time audit is, you can do it once a week, once a month, once every couple of weeks, whatever. It brings a sense of awareness to what you're doing with your time. So a time audit would work like this. Sit your ass in a chair for 10, 15 minutes and recap your entire day. Or if you have the capacity to, maybe you recap the past week. Where did I waste time? Where can I invest my time a little bit more valuably? Where can I increase my productivity? Where can I increase my love that I'm putting out in the world? Where can I increase my time that I need to spend doing the things that are most important to me? This has been one of the most valuable tools that I've used. I've tried tons of, time management and, systems and things like that. And I believe it's a matter of figuring out what works for you. But there's a sense of awareness that comes when you say, okay, here's 10 minutes that I wasted today. Here's 20 minutes that I wasted yesterday. Here's 30 minutes that I wasted on Thursday. Imagine if you recovered 30 minutes a week, just a week, 30 minutes a week, you recovered it and you used it for the things that are most important to you. 30 minutes times 52 weeks. How many hours is that? That's 26 hours. Imagine if you could freeze time for 26 hours. How much could you get done? Now, some people's minds go directly to like, oh, if I freeze time, I'm gonna do all sorts of crazy stuff where people aren't gonna know. No, I'm talking about freezing time to maybe catch up, if that's the wording you want to use, or be more productive or be more efficient. 26 hours in an entire year. Now, I'm no saint at this. This is something that I'm constantly working on. But you see, this series, this is the journey to creating the mental conditioning playbook. I'm not perfect along this journey. I want to share some of my vulnerabilities with you guys. I know there's areas in my schedule. I just gave you the example of the MLB app or scrolling on social media for too long. We're all victims of it. So I don't hold myself to a higher, I don't hold myself on a higher level than other people. I hold myself to a higher standard where when I do those things, I beat myself up for a minute and it's like, okay, I got to snap out of it and learn from it. But I'm not above anyone. So anyways, if you found this useful, go check out the time audit. Go do it yourself, 10 or 15 minutes. Just write down your schedule. What did you do today? Where did you waste time? Where did you gain time? Or where could you gain time? Where could you invest your time more efficiently? You'll be amazed. If you gain 30 extra minutes a week, you gain 26 hours over an entire freaking year. The social media thing alone, or the MLB app alone, or I look at the NBA app alone too. When it's not baseball season, I look at the NBA app. So there's time to be found in all of our schedules, in all of our lives, in all of our days. So hope everyone's doing well. If you found this video useful, please subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, all that good stuff, and we will see you guys on the next video.